are pumped to have 5 starters back while the Stampeders are missing a ton of players for this one. Hey, baby, don't touch that drink. It's alcoholic. No. The babies are ready. They got the shades on. The Stamp fans are ready.
Those guys
Little
are drinking.
Thursday night football in Ottawa. RedBlacks, Stampeders coming up on TSN. With Vernon Adams still not ready to go, PJ Walker making his first CFL start, coming in relief of VA their last game. He struggled. He was 3 of 7 passing for 20 yards, but with a week under his belt of practice, expectations are so much higher for him. And to be quite honest, there's a lot going on too. Defensively, special teams, this team has been great so far this season. And the RedBlacks, they desperately need this win too. Thursday Night Football, it is Enoch Mwamba, it is Paul LaPolice, it is Milt Stiegel. And Milt, we just talked about PJ there, and you were saying you expect a lot more, and that practice certainly should help.
Yeah, Philip Walker Jr., that's his government name. I'm expecting a lot more. And we saw a small taste of him last week, and he was put into a tough situation, so we didn't expect much, but I'm expecting a lot more. He's had an entire week of practice, and he's not fresh out of college. He's played professional football since 2020, and I think his formula for success is what? Relying on that great defense, relying on that great running game, and nickel and diming it down the field, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right about the run game. Lorenzo Malden, Mike Wakefield, Bryce Carter, they better have a big day, because I think they're going to get a lot of runs to them. They got to try to make this quarterback, young quarterback, throw the ball downfield. That's the strength of this RedBlacks defense. They get takeaways, 4th in the CFL. That's what's going to happen, Enoch, for the RedBlacks to win.
Mill, you talk about the expectations rising for the young man. Yes, it is rising, but he is in a great situation, really, with the defense that he has in front of him. It's going to have to be, how is he going to manage his nerves? How is he going to manage the game? He doesn't have to be a hero tonight at all. And so it's really about how is he limiting his mistakes and allowing the game to come to him. Hopefully, Pat DeMonico is going to have some of those plays that you used to have back in the day, Coach, when you had Chris Streveler at quarterback.
If the Ottawa RedBlacks can't take advantage of this situation with all the injuries the Calgary has on offense, they're 1 and 7.
Oh boy,
that's when they may blow up. Not with the coaches, but some of those players, they're gonna make some.
There's gonna be some consequences.
Playing a game at home, they got a lot of players back. They need to show up tonight.
Yep.
I don't know why to all of you. I don't know where to look. I mean, I wanted to change things up, but I'm just like, I feel like I'm leaving Enoch out, and
don't leave me out.
I won't.
Kate, I wouldn't look at those two guys too long. I don't mind looking at me.
What, so I just look at Milt the entire time? Is this how it goes? You know what? I gotta watch football now. How about that?
I'm up next, watch the ball, see flex, shoot my name in a text, you can put me to the test. I'm up next, watch me hop in a jet, these are days I don't sweat, big dreams, bigger bets. I'm up next, I'm up next.
Let's kick off week 9 in the CFL on an absolutely beautiful Thursday night in Ottawa, where the RedBlacks set to host the Calgary Stampeders. Ottawa coming in off of a bye week, but they've lost 4 in a row. Calgary sitting at 5-2, but will not have Vernon Adams Jr.
Yeah, whether he passed concussion protocol or not, Dave Dickinson was not taking a chance with his star quarterback. So tonight it'll be PJ Walker. Walker had limited action in last week's loss to Montreal. His last start was with the Cleveland Browns against the Seattle Seahawks back in 2023. There was some uncertainty with Drew Brown as well after the hit he took in their last game, but he passed protocol immediately. He hasn't missed a rep in practice. He is good to go.
Bob Dice's RedBlacks just 1 win so far this season. The good news, it was against these Calgary Stampeders back on June 21st. Dave Dickinson, 3-0 on the road this year. Wins over Toronto, Saskatchewan, and Winnipeg, outscoring their opponents in those road victories, 94-49. Missing a lot of offensive pieces tonight, though, are the Calgary Stampeders. They will get the ball to start. Ottawa 0-3 at home after 7 home victories last year, and we are underway in week 9 in the Canadian Football League. This will be taken just outside of the 25. And Kalen Horton trying to get something early. Takes it to the far side of the field and tackled around the 48. Good field position for P.J. Walker.
Yeah, I've been to a few teams in the National Football League, and P.J. Walker, as we mentioned, limited action in that game against Montreal, coming in for Vernon Adams when he was nicked. 5-4 record with Carolina and Cleveland. So we'll see. We talked to him this week. Said he loves the RPO play calling in Canadian football.
Start with Dedrick Mills to his left. That's where they're going to go. Runs into some traffic at the 50. Will get about a yard on his first touch of the ball game. Mills a big part. Is that Antwi in the game? Big part of this offense.
And take a look at their offensive line. Pressure will be on them with the young quarterback and wanting to get that run game going. Joshua Coker and Deontay Demarais on the outside. We've got the pressure of playing against Malden and Carter, and see the changes in the receiving corps. We've talked about it. The panel talked about it. They're down. Not only the starters on the right side of the receiving corps, but their backups as well are out.
All right, so Antwi to start the game at running back. Walker's throwing here. He's got Tevin Jones at midfield. Bounces off one tackle, hangs on to the ball, takes it up to midfield. Won't be enough for a first down.
So Jalen Philpott, Clark Barnes, Damian Alford, go back long enough. It's Reggie Bagleton in that group as well. That's basically the right side of the receiving corps. Vashon Janices will play in the slot back position. Dalen Baldwin gets the start. And they're going to have to lean on the guys they do have, Eric Brooks, Dominic Rhymes.
Offense stays out on the field in the 3rd and 4, trying to draw Ottawa offside, you would think. And there are some flags, but we'll see Calgary. Calgary's trying to point at the RedBlacks, but the RedBlacks look like they held strong there early in this football game.
You know, every now and then it works.
Time count violation. Calgary number 2. It's 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Every now and then it works, and that's why coaches do it, because, you know, maybe one of, 10 times it'll work where you draw the defense offside, and if you don't, you take the delay of game penalty. It's only 5 yards, so your punter has no problem tipping the field here, depending on the return.
Fraser Muzzin lets it fly from the 40. That'll be taken near sideline. Pimpleton jumped around one tackler. Takes it back just outside the 30. Calgary is saying that they have the football along the near sideline. A discussion from the officials here. And did Pimpleton have that ball knocked away?
Well, there's a whole jury of people down there in white jerseys trying to argue this point.
Right in front of the Calgary sideline. We'll give you a look at this, but we think it's wishful hoping from the Calgary Stampeders.
Let's see if he steps out of bounds there.
Yeah, he was out.
Right foot, left foot, and the right foot again out of bounds before the ball came out.
Drew Brown will start on the Ottawa 31. Dumps it off into the flats. And that is into the hands of quarterback Dustin Crum as they mix things up a little bit with Drew Brown and Crum both being on the field.
So we will talk about the big hit that he took in their last game against Hamilton, but as I mentioned off the top, he passed protocol immediately, didn't miss a rep in practice, and the Ottawa RedBlacks are coming off the bye. So Drew Brown definitely ready to start this game. And with the bye, they had time to go deep into the playbook and get a Dustin Crum swing pass.
I know you've always talked about wanting to see two quarterbacks in there at certain times, and interesting that they do it so early. Maybe trying to set something up a little bit later on.
And make Calgary's defense react to it, talk about it on the sideline. Zach Pelios is the injured offensive lineman. Third straight start for him after missing 5 games due to injury, so that's a big hit. Jacob Ruby is now the 6th offensive lineman, so we'll probably see him in this game if he can't return.
I believe Pelios was listed as a game-time decision, so something may ail him early. High snap, Brown's got to run back. Here comes the pressure, and Arimolade is there to touch him down. Not the start you wanted if you're a Red Black fan in attendance here at TD Place.
Well, Peter Godber, we're going to get to the starting lineups here, but Peter Godber is the center back, first start since being injured early in the campaign. So they were real excited and are real excited to get the all-star center back out of Rice University. A little bit of a hot snap. It wasn't too high for Drew Brown to handle, but it is his first one in a while in that shotgun.
He gets it away. That's into the wind. Bounces at midfield. Horton picks it up on a one-hopper. And it takes it back just shy of the Ottawa 50. Where P.J. Walker will get the ball for a second time today when we return to Ottawa. P.J. Walker getting the first start for the Calgary Stampeders. Here's a look at the last time he started a game. That was with Cleveland against Seattle. He would actually go on to finish his NFL career with the Seahawks. Did not start. Now he's throwing here quickly to Brooks. Brooks, one move, and then he's taken down by a Darius Pickett, who's been a star once again for this Ottawa defense.
Yeah, speaking of stars, how about Bryce Carter, who leads the team in quarterback sacks with 3. More on him as the game goes on. Take a look at that linebacking core, and how about Mount Cormier getting his second start in the core, and 2 changes in the secondary. DeAndre Lamont will play at halfback. Elijah McGee back on the corner.
2nd and 6 for Walker. Bordering on field goal range here. Walker from the pocket, down the field, looking for Limes, and just overshoots him. That falls incomplete, and Paredes quickly with the wind, I think, at his back, but it's kind of swirling around here. He's going to come out and attempt a kick beyond 50.
Corner route by Dominic Rhymes that is well covered. I mean, you can't cover much better than Amari Henderson did there, right there. Right on that upfield shoulder.
This will be a 53-yard attempt from Paredes. His long on the season is 51. He's at 80% so far in the campaign. Just inside at left hash. It is up, and it is wide right. Brought away by Pimpleton. Stays on his feet, spin move, and he's still going near sideline and steps out. Oh, that would have been thrilling. Welcome back to Ottawa, where their right tackle currently sits on the sideline, and we won't have a further update until halftime, so he definitely won't be back in the first half.
Good news for Ottawa fans, Dustin, is that they've dressed 2 extra offensive linemen, Jacob Ruby and Parker Moore. So Moore is going in at tackle. Has started some games this year.
We'll see if Pelahos can return. The work from the Ottawa 49. Stanback gets the ball towards the line of scrimmage. No further. Driven back by that stellar Calgary defense.
Yeah, that defense in Calgary has been excellent. You think about the only defense in the league that is holding teams to under 20 points a game.
19.1 points per game to be exact. Brown throwing here. 4 options wide side left. 2 guys to his right. Calgary just sends 3. Brown gets it away. Midfield. Not enough. Found a completion. Returning to the lineup. Braylon Addison. But he could not find the yardage needed for a first down.
Yeah, underneath throw, they're just sort of rope-a-doping right now in field position, but one errant snap. Got that field position back on the return from Pimpleton.
Kalen Horton waits at his own 11. High kick. Takes it cleanly just outside the 5. Spun around and taken down after a return of about just 5 yards for Kalen Horton. Calgary, Ottawa, scoreless early. Well, we've been talking about P.J. Walker getting the start. Here's why. Vernon Adams Jr. injured on this play last week.
Late in the third quarter, going out trying to scramble and run. Gets sandwiched between 2 Montreal tacklers. Did not return to the game. Dave Dickinson wanted to be. He is dressed in street clothes here. Will be an extra set of eyes for P.J. Walker.
That is batted down. Pressure in the face of Walker, and Lamont gets his hands on it.
Dave Dickinson was not taking any chances whether he passed protocol or not. So P.J. Walker's getting his first chance, and that one knocked away at the line of scrimmage.
Dedrick Mills into the ball game for the first time tonight. Stands to the right of P.J. Walker. Likely throwing on this second down. Flushed out of the pocket. On the run. Finds a man. It's Rhymes. First down. Takes it outside the 35 as P.J. Walker uses his feet to keep the play alive.
Well, here's a couple of good signs for Calgary fans that are trying to see, you know, what is P.J. Walker going to look like in his first start? Well, first of all, he went through his progressions to the right side of the formation, didn't like what he saw, and when he scrambled to his left, he kept his eyes downfield. And he finds Dominic Rhymes for this first down and to get him out of trouble, get him out of the deep in their own end.
25 yards to Rhymes, 63 games in a row with a catch. Now they'll finally get Mills a touch. And he gets a couple yards on first down.
Yeah, so that's, you know, in our conversation with him, I asked him about coming up to Canadian football and the differences. And, of course, he was here last year, so he got a chance to look at it. Played the preseason over on Vancouver Island against the BC Lions. Thought he looked very comfortable there. Didn't look real comfortable jumping off the bench in the fourth quarter against Montreal. It was late in that quarter, and that's a good defense. So I know expectations are a lot higher for this one.
He needs 8 more yards on this play. Looks to his left, now to his right. That's where he throws down the field. Got it again. Inside the 40, right back to Rhymes. And another big gainer for the Stampeders.
And you know, when we talked about it, and you know, it got down to all the differences in Canadian football and the extra player on the field and all of those things, and then it was kind of like P.J. Walker goes, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm just going to play ball. I've been doing it my whole life. I'm just going to play ball. That's looked like it on that play.
33 more yards to Rhymes, and they're inside the 40. This time tucks it into the belly of his running back. And Mills took a heavy hit there from Santos Knox.
What a great form tackle by the Ottawa middle linebacker. Now, this is textbook form tackle in the hole. Boom. Right underneath the chest. Oh, yeah. Leader of that defense.
Second and 10 from the RedBlack 38. Mills flares out to the right. Down to the 30. Will be a yard and a half, probably, at least. Found Dalen Baldwin for his first CFL catch, the 25-year-old who finished up his college career at Michigan. And it's almost 2 yards, so Paredes will come out for a much more reasonable field goal attempt this time.
I'm sure Dave Dickinson was very tempted. A couple of good plays, big plays down the field from P.J. Walker, a little confidence in the offense, and looking at 2 yards and plus territory, I'm sure he was tempted, but getting the points on the road is a good decision.
Paredes, low snap, gets the kick away. It wasn't picture perfect, but it gets the job done. And Calgary, with P.J. Walker at the helm, strikes first. He's 5 of 7 for 75 yards so far in this ball game.
Well, I like the scramble. I like that scramble. He had his eyes down the field. Found, I think, Dominic Rhymes on that throw as well. Then he had a nice throw from the pocket on that deep route to Rhymes. You could see the arm strength.
He did tell us earlier, a lot of people always told him that his skill set could fit in well,
absolutely,
in the Canadian game. Drew Brown will have the ball for Ottawa here on their own 40 after the field goal. Makes the handoff, quick hitter in the direction of Hardy, and he hangs on.
So we've already juggled the offensive line a little bit, and there's more in there. He was supposed to be a 6th offensive lineman. Peter Godber's back, and that's their all-star center. And they also get Braylon Addison. And to remind Ottawa fans, I'm sure you don't have to, but Braylon Addison was their leading receiver after week 4 of the season before he was injured.
Just the one win so far this season, but talking to people around Ottawa over the last couple of days, high expectations for this team, getting some healthy bodies back and being in a desperate spot looking for a victory.
Well, and there's the guy we just talked about in Braylon Addison, who is you know, you got to get back into the swing of things. Nice throw, makes the catch, but he gets rocked pretty good by Derek Moncrief. So now he's got that first hit under his belt. Get back in the swing of things the next series.
O'Neill let this go from just inside his own 35, low kick. Horton takes it just inside the 20. Trying to find some space. There's a flag as he's tripped up just outside the 30. Good tackle. May have been coming back anyway, but Horton thought he might have had one. When we come back, Claire Hanna with more on P.J. Walker's journey to the Canadian Football League. P.J. Walker with a lead in his first career start. For more on his journey, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Well, before joining the Calgary Stampeders, P.J. Walker already had lots of connections to the CFL. When he was playing with the Colts, his quarterback coach there was former CFL quarterback Marcus Brady, and one of Walker's Temple teammates, Avery Ellis, went on to win a Grey Cup with Montreal. But Walker's strongest connection to the CFL is Henry Burris, also a Temple alumni, and the two are close. Burris told me Walker is built for the CFL. When he heard the Stampeders had interest in Walker, Burris told Walker that Calgary is a first-class city, that he'll fit right in, and Dickinson and the organization create successful quarterbacks. Now, Walker did break all of Burris's records at Temple, but there's no hard feelings. In fact, Burris told me, I hope he breaks my CFL records too, guys.
He's just getting started, but that's a long way to go. He'll start here, handing it off.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of yards passing between these two guys at Temple University. Over 10,000 for P.J. Walker. That's the all-time leader. And second in that list is a guy who did pretty well in the Canadian Football League, and Henry Burris. And they still talk, as Claire mentioned. But he does have the skill set, doesn't he? Athletically, he can move, live arm, and can move.
Choquette in the game and running back for Calgary. 3 different running backs have touched the ball already. That was a little bit too high for Rhymes. And that will fall incomplete. And Calgary will be forced to punt from deep in their own territory.
Yeah, some of these high out throws you see from quarterbacks occasionally, and this is not because he's young, is almost a decision. When your out throw is so well covered that an undercut DB could take it back to the house, you throw it high into the outside, and if your receiver can't make the spectacular catch, no problem, you punt the ball. But you don't want to have it behind the receiver on an out throw, or it's going the other way.
Muzzin stands in his own end zone, lets it fly from just outside. Pimpleton cleanly takes it 45. And he is taken down by Onyeka. That's his 9th special team tackle of the season.
Well, I'm not a big fan on the whole must-win discussion until it comes playoff time or to make the playoffs or you're out. You know, that's when it's must-win. However, the pressure on this organization to get another win. Last time they won in front of their home fans was October of last year. So they, you know, I asked Coach Dice about that pressure, and he said, well, the one thing about it is no one on the outside can put more pressure on our staff than we can.
Brown from the pocket. Too high on the far side, looking for Keelan White. Let's take a look at this Calgary defense.
Yeah, take a look up front. We've shown you and talked about Jalen Hutchings, and he is their leader in sacks, but also the only defensive lineman with a sack against Ottawa in that rain game in Calgary. And there's Derek Moncrief, who's just filling the stat sheet top to bottom. And one change, Adrian Green was a game-time decision in corner. Couldn't go, so Godfrey Onyeka will play that corner spot.
Not a must-win, but a boy they'd really like to win tonight.
Oh, yeah.
For Ottawa. Brown with time. It's Gino inside the 35, and that's a way to ignite an offense for Ottawa.
Yeah, that's the type of play you need. You go to your veteran wide receiver. He's got nice little off the line of scrimmage stem inside, meaning that he's trying to get leverage on the defensive back as he goes inside, almost tippy-toeing to that open area in the zone defense. And that's one that can get you a little bit of confidence and your quarterback some rhythm. See if he can capitalize on it.
23 yards to Lewis. Now they'll hand it off. Stand back, tackled by Rimolade.
The current active leader in the Canadian Football League, William Stanback.
Ottawa will keep things moving. Down by 3 late in the first quarter. 6 yards away from the red zone. Brown gets it away quickly. Stanback's got it down inside the 20, and that'll be a first down for Ottawa.
He knew where the first down marker was, didn't he? He comes out of that backfield. He gets the push route out to the flat. Here it comes right into your living room. And then lowers the shoulder because he knows where the first down marker is. And he's going to bully his way to it.
Ottawa just 10 of 22 inside the red zone so far this season. 45%. Back to Stanback. Dragging a Stampeder defending with him. Clarence Hicks was hanging on. That'll do it for the opening quarter here in Ottawa. RedBlacks trail by 3, but are knocking on the door and looking for their first lead of the night. Calgary Stampeders perfect on the road so far this year, and they do lead 3-0 after the first quarter, but Ottawa is inside the 20, looking to find the end zone here, Suits.
Well, you mentioned that's been an area of struggle for them, and you know, when we talked to Drew Brown, it was interesting that he told us, like, last year he felt like the team was less productive offensively, but in key moments in games or when they were in the red zone, that's when they made their plays, and that's why they made the playoffs last year. This year he feels like it's switched, that they're more productive offensively and can be more consistent at times, but then they get in these crucial moments in games, late in games, or in the red zone, and they're not making those plays. So that's where they want to try and make their improvements to get that second win of the season and take a little pressure off their head coach. As I mentioned, Bob Dice saying, we're going to put more pressure on us than anybody else can to try and win.
They'll work from the Calgary 12 on a 2nd and 4. Everybody out to the left for Brown. Stanback will go to the right. Over the middle. End zone. Got it. Touchdown, RedBlacks. It's Justin Hardy. His 2nd of the season has Ottawa on top.
Couple things here for Drew Brown. One, he sees Damon Webb, the safety, down low. And so he understands that if the safety's low, that center of the field is probably going to be voided unless there's a linebacker rolling, which was on the opposite side. That wasn't the problem for Justin Hardy, who runs that slant. And they score in the red zone.
Lewis Ward for one more. And a 4-point lead. And he does just that. 6-play, 52-yard drive that took just over 2 minutes. And Ottawa goes on top for the first time tonight.
Yeah, there's the pre-snap read for quarterbacks, and then, you know, once the ball is snapped, going through the progressions. But a couple things happen that are tip-offs for the quarterback. So the first is that Damon Webb is low. So Damon Webb being low doesn't necessarily mean this will be open. There's Webb right there. But as soon as the back goes to the flat and Webb takes him, then he knows it's a man-to-man coverage, and Drew Brown can go to his slant over the middle. So he sees Webb take him out in the flat, and Rumalotti ends up dropping him and going with him as well. And there's the hole for Justin Hardy.
Sixth passing touchdown of the season for Brown. Morton on the return. Picks his way out to about the Calgary 40.
You know, when we were getting ready for this game, I took a look with Braylon Addison back in the lineup in the starting group, and I thought, this is a very good receiving corps. I mean, this is a play-making receiving corps, and the GM is happy with that touchdown drive and catch from Justin Hardy. But you look at Hardy, Geno Lewis, Khalil Pimpleton, Braylon Addison back, and Keelan White has not looked out of place at all in his first year in the pros.
3rd overall pick. Burkett gets the ball again. It's about a yard, almost 2.
One of the questions for Ottawa has been their defense. And not necessarily, you know, when you look at the personnel seems fine, but talking about the defense giving up too many big plays. Too many explosives, as they like to call it.
Just a yard for Chiquette. 2nd and 9 for Walker. Guns it in there for Brooks. He's got it. Stays on his feet and takes it down inside the Ottawa 50.
Here's an example of P.J. Walker's live arm. I mean, he had a bit of a pass rush in front of him, too. But he is going to knife this ball into this curl. He's got guys getting pushed into his lap, and he puts that between the 8 and the 7. This is a good, hard throw, and it had to be when you're throwing that inside curl.
21 yards in the hands of Brooks. 1st and 10 from the Ottawa 47. Turquette again. Good burst this time. And takes it out for about half of what they needed.
Yeah, our discussion too went to the RPO, the run pass option. I know we use that term quite often, and if you can just think of it in a real simple way as the run option to your back, Dedrick Mills. The run is also an option, and Pat Delmonico, the offensive coordinator, can have P.J. Walker run with it, or he can throw it at that too. Walker loves that type of offense. I said, well, then you'll love it up here.
They need 5 more. Walker fakes the handoff. Has a ton of time. Looks down the field. Intercepted. Taken away by Amari Henderson. And Henderson will be wrapped up just outside the 20. Henderson had 4 knockdowns on the year coming into this game, but that is his first interception of the season.
This Ottawa defense has allowed 16 explosive plays in 7 games. It's been a bit of an issue. This time they're making the play. And Amari Henderson, who's had 3 knockdowns in the last 2 games, getting his hands on the ball, but hasn't got his first interception until now.
Take that club off.
He undercut that one. And
I got my pinky back now.
maybe he's fought through an injury. That's the reason he got the knockdowns.
Did you say he's got his pinky back?
Pinky back.
Brown this time hands it off. Steady diet of stand back so far in this ball game. Gets 5 there.
And if you're PJ Walker, and he knows better than anybody, if you cross the stripe and you're playing at this level, this is going to happen. So now the most important play is the next one for number 2.
Well, he told us he's a guy who likes to get back to the sideline, get that information on why that interception happened, and you see him diving into the tablet right there. 2nd and 5 for Brown. 4 options, out to his left, 2 to his right, throws in that direction, and he's got Eugene Lewis. Lewis takes it out beyond the 45.
Really haven't activated all of Eugene Lewis's skill set, have you? I mean, or has this team? Because he only has 1 explosive play this year. Now, he was leading their team coming in and has played well. Don't get me wrong. He's just got so much bigger of an upside. Maybe it's tonight they really activate 87.
Got 28 yards already. Now back to Stanback. And he is wrapped up by Jacob Roberts, who leads his team in tackles with 39 coming into the ball game tonight.
I think when you leave Gino Lewis by himself on that short side of the field, that's when he's at his best. You can see the matchup. If he's double teamed, you go to the field. If he's not, you're going right to 87.
Is at the bottom of your screen working against Onyeka. Drew Brown going to change things up. Gets the snap off just in time. Calgary only sends 3. Brown's got time. Finds Stanback. Moncrief's got him. Great tackle. And he would not let him get away, would he?
Yeah, good tackle. When you mentioned that Gino Lewis was out to that side of the field, he was out there to take Godfrey Onyeka and halfback Sheldon Arnold out of that zone, on that flat zone, so that William Stanback could get out there, get in space with one-on-one with a linebacker, and he was shut down by Derek Moncrief. What a great tackle.
Leone drops it into Horton just inside the 15. And he is pushed out around the Calgary 20. It is an absolutely beautiful Thursday night in the nation's capital. I don't know what would be worse, knowing that he's watching you or actually having to be around him. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Or knowing that in occasional restaurants that's going on.
Yeah, that too.
Big fan, by the way. Gordon Ramsay.
After an illegal block penalty, Calgary is backed up. They'll put it in the hands of Dedrick Mills this time. Just his third touch of the ball game. And a good push ahead on first down for Mills.
Yeah, I could see this being sort of the game plan coming in. I know it hasn't been the sort of first quarter that we thought, and they maybe asked P.J. Walker to push the ball a little more than they'd like to this early in his journey. Oh, that's a little face mask they got away with, too.
Cormier on the RedBlacks is down on the field. Training staff out to take a look at him.
Second round pick a couple of years ago. His second start.
It's been great on special teams so far for Ottawa this year, with a team leading 11 tackles. Dedrick Mills, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Vernon Adams coming in and changing the culture of the team a little bit. But Dedrick Mills is having a monster season on the ground for Calgary.
Well, he is. I mean, leading the league in rushing yards per game. I mean, the rushing yards total, it changes because sometimes a team will have a game in hand. But that yards per game has been consistent. He hasn't got his 100-yard mark yet, though.
Walker behind Rhymes. He would have been gone. There was nobody behind him.
No, but Santos Knox feels the same way. Like, he would have been gone the opposite direction.
If that ball is caught, it's a touchdown either way.
Yeah, exactly. That's the bottom line. I mean, this is a slant, and watch to the left of your screen, right underneath there. Number 5 cuts underneath it. But Walker saw it the other way. He thought if Rhymes hangs on there, he's gone.
He knew it too, eh?
Oh,
he
yeah.
Slammed the turf. Muzzin, high kick, hangs up there. Taken by Pimpleton just inside the 50. Can he escape? Not this time. Calgary will stop him after a short return. Let's flash it back before the bye week. Drew Brown, much talked about hit from Amos. For more on this, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Well, Dustin, I talked to Drew Brown about that, and he said, I got my bell rung. And during a halftime interview with Bob Dice actually interjected during that interview and said, you know what, I'm surprised that Deshaun Amos didn't get ejected from that game. Here's what's interesting. Amos actually took to social media after the game and said, that's the last thing I'd intentionally do to someone. Brown responded saying he appreciated the message, and then he told me, I've played against Amos enough times to know it wasn't malicious. Rules of the game are evolving. That hit was legal just a few years ago, so it's hard to replicate that kind of scenario in practice. And the good news is Brown is obviously feeling great, and he has no ill will towards Amos.
And he just went over 100 yards on that completion to Hardy.
Yeah, nice throw on that slant.
Brown this time flips it in front of him, nowhere to go. Got it into the hands of a dangerous playmaker in Pimpleton, but Calgary was all over it. Probably lose a couple of yards here.
Yeah, interesting that, Claire Hanna talking about the discussion on social media between the two players, and Brown actually elaborated saying, that type of hit was legal just a few years ago, and the game continues to evolve to make it safer, and he understands now why it's a penalty, and Amos had the maximum fine you could get for leading with the top of his helmet and hitting Drew Brown in the head.
Brown this time flushed out of the pocket on the run to his left. He's going to take off. Down to the 10 before he steps out of bounds. Was in a foot race with Miles Brown, and he won it for 16 yards.
And got himself out of bounds. And the other thing that is always a puzzling aspect of the game to me is sometimes the hits that look the worst aren't that bad, and the guys don't get hurt. Sometimes the ones that look innocent, they're gone for 6 weeks. So good to see Drew Brown back. His accuracy's there, and there's a nice run.
Adeboboye in the game and running back to the right of Drew Brown. Already has one passing touchdown in this game. Boy! Moncrief would have had a house call the other way. He read it so well, but his hands let him down.
Oh, man. Did he ever read this? You can't do this as a defender unless you have watched a ton of tape. He is way back here right around the goal line, and because he sees the setup and that it's a screen and that receivers are out trying to get their angles to block, he knows it's a wide receiver screen. He's coming downhill, and it just goes through his hands.
Brown wanting to throw again, gets it away, and that one incomplete. No flags on the field, and that'll bring up a third down.
He has a pick six this year. Back against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in their first win against the Bombers in Calgary. So this second down, a little pressure from Arimolade off the edge and good coverage over the middle. Again, Derek Moncrief. Told you out at the top, he is just filling the stat sheet every night.
Lewis Ward, 18-yarder for a 7-point cushion, and he knocks it through. Ottawa on top, 10-3. P.J. Walker on making his first start in the CFL.
Just be you. Go out there and play your game. You don't got to over-prepare. I heard one of my guys come to me and tell me I ain't got to over-prepare at all. Been doing this my whole life. Just go out there and do it. Execute.
Now he's got to do the right count. There's one extra player out here. And there's been a couple that have been close and one interception thrown tonight. So got to account for that extra DB.
Calgary works from their 40. Entry in the game and running back. Walker on the run to his right. Lays it out there for Brooks. And that is batted down. A tight window that closed quickly. And Amari Henderson was there again.
Well, about this play, there's two things. One aspect is that they're getting him outside off the play action on the run. That's, I think, a good sign. But to try and force it into that window, there's a lot of Ottawa defenders around there. Amari Henderson almost got his second. Trying to make that throw on the run with three defenders all over Eric Brooks.
2nd and 10 for Walker. Steps up. Wide open. Bobbled and drops. Baldwin in his CFL debut. Probably would like another crack at that one.
Yeah, he would, because this is well played by P.J. Walker. He's going to climb up in the pocket here and keep his eyes upfield and look away before throwing it over the middle. Again, he's had a couple of close calls and one pick, so he's now starting to look off defensive backs, and that was just flat dropped.
Pimpleton takes it just inside the 35 on the run. Takes it back outside the 45. There's a flag near the point of where he caught that ball. Drew Brown, 9 of 13 for 108 yards and a touchdown.
No yards. Calgary number 4. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's a big one.
Tevin Jones, the receiver who's on special teams, gets flagged.
And not Tevin Jones' fault, really. I mean, that was a tough one because Pimpleton ran under that. That was a bit of a short punt.
It was.
And he ran under it. Catching it in the air makes it a 15-yard penalty and good field position for Drew Brown.
Browns 9 of 13, 108 yards and a touchdown so far in this ball game. Barking out some instructions. Stand back, to his left. Calgary rushes 4. Brown drops it in there neatly. Keno Lewis still going and eventually taken down just outside the 25, a 34-yard pickup.
Yeah, you know, one of the aspects of Drew Brown's game is his ability and accuracy to throw this football into windows as well. And coming into this game, he was at 73%, which is second in the league. That was right on the money as he cleared the linebacker.
Calgary's going to bring some heat. Brown gets it away quickly. Almost a first down. Might be enough, actually, as he guns it in there to Keelan White.
26 targets so far this season for Keelan White. He was out there at the wide receiver spot, ball in the middle of the field. He sees the high corner and he just cuts underneath it. Not surprised they might try and test out Godfrey on Yek on that wide side.
Back inside the red zone go the RedBlacks. Brown gets it away, hangs it up there a little too high in the direction of Lewis, that time working against Anthony Johnson. We have hit the 3-minute warning here in Ottawa. RedBlacks on top and looking for more.
Look how hard these guys are working. Great halftime coming your way. We've got both defenses that we will be highlighting, and PJ Walker as well. Some good, some bad. What's his full name again, Notes?
Philip Walker Jr.
Philip Walker Jr. That and much more coming up.
Dustin Bokeith Nielsen. That's my full name. Should do full names for all the players all the time. See if we can fit them in. Here's Drew Brown. Goldblin on the run to his right, to the end zone, wide open, got it! Drops it in there for Hardy again. About as open as you can be. And the RedBlacks go up by 13.
Drew Brown takes advantage of the bust in the coverage because he can get outside of this pressure. Miles Brown went very wide and couldn't get home, and he finds Hardy in behind everybody.
Lewis Ward to make it a 14-point cushion for Ottawa late in the first half. And that is 17 points in a row for a RedBlacks team that has won 4 in a row against the Calgary Stampeders.
Usually when you get down into this area of the field, you're going to see man-to-man. So there's like a bunch formation coming out. Now, how the Calgary Stampeders have to handle this is you take the deep guy if you're this one, you take the out route, and look what happens. 2 players take the out route right here and leave Justin Hardy on the deep route. It's a real tough look to cover when you get the bunch formation. It's full motion towards the line of scrimmage. Guys are switching and changing. The deep guy's supposed to take the deep one. If there's 2 deep ones, the second high player takes Hardy. He missed. He went to the flat, so the flat was double covered. Justin Hardy wide open. And Drew Brown found him.
4 catches, 62 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Big first half for Justin Hardy and anybody who has him in their
10-yard
fantasy lineup to start the week.
For contact with an official, Calgary number 94. This 10-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
Wow. Okay.
PJ Walker will get the ball back with quite a bit of time here. See if they can go and put some points on the board before halftime.
I hope be surprised at all if Calgary goes into halftime and discusses sort of their strategy coming out. They don't have to panic here. I know it's 2 possessions, but don't have to panic. Still got a whole half to play. Get back to the run game and get P.J. Walker into some manageable second downs, because you're asking him on the first or second and 10. That's tough.
Good burst from Horton, takes it out beyond the 30.
I mean, I agree with the panel. They're going to talk about it at halftime, but saying that there's been some real good and some bad as well. But I like that early play where he got scrambling and then found Dominic Rhymes with his head up and his eyes downfield. Then there was a pocket throw to Rhymes. And the pick. Got to account for all those backside halfbacks flying around.
He's 1 for his last 6. Closing in on 100 yards in his first half as a starter in the league. Dedrick Mills is in at running back to his right. That's where they'll go. Mills has nowhere to go as he is tripped up by Colden. Loses a yard on the play.
Well, the other part of that equation is that's exactly what the Ottawa defense was thinking too. You got a young quarterback in his first start, young to the league, in his first start. Let's stop the run on first down, put him in second and long, and make him try and gun it down the field. I'm sure William Fields has been thinking that way right through the bye week.
Walker needs to find 11 here. Near side, Brooks open, takes it back, tracked down, and will be stopped. Well, depending on the spot, I think they're going to give it to him.
They are right at it. And here, add this for the P.J. Walker highlight for halftime. Add this to the good. That was a sidearm wide field out throw. I mean, and it was a flick of the wrist to get it out there.
Yeah, the arm talent is not in question.
No, not
with
not
Walker.
Probably on Murray. Good examples of it tonight already in this first half.
McGee with the tackle. Now they'll give it to Brooks. Brooks, far side. Won't have enough for the first down, but it'll be a second and very manageable situation for this Calgary offense.
Yeah, good, nice fly sweep to Eric Brooks, who they're going to have to lean on. We can see that already between Brooks and Dominic Rhymes. Lots of targets for both those guys early on here.
Brooks is a guy who's been around a little bit, right? They've got a couple of guys in the lineup for the first time. Brooks has been here for a bit, has had some great moments, and they're getting him involved early. He leads the team with 4 catches, 44 yards. Now they'll go back to Mills on second down. Needed 3. Only got 1. Looks like they're going to go for it here. 3rd and just under 2.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah. 90 seconds left in the half. Ball their side of midfield. Big chance here for the Ottawa defense. Can P.J. Walker find a way? Ottawa sends 6. Batted down at the line. There's a flag. A flag came out right as that ball was batted away. And this could make things interesting. This is against Ottawa.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Ottawa number 33. 10-yard penalty makes it a first down.
DeAndre Lamont gets the penalty.
First penalty of the evening for the RedBlacks is a big one.
Well,
8.5.
I was surprised by the play call, first of all.
Now from the Ottawa 48. Gets it into the hands of the newcomer, Baldwin. He hangs on. First down.
Yeah, that's just a hot route to Baldwin. Take advantage of this break because they were turning the ball over on third down. The ball knocked to the line of scrimmage, but that penalty.
Throwing again. Walker too high. Take it away. Lamont's got it. And he's going to bring it back far side. Tripped up by Brooks.
Lamont. He got the penalty. Kept it alive. And he just makes amends. This kept the drive alive and gave Calgary a chance to get some points before the half and grab some momentum. DeAndre Lamont gets the penalty to extend that drive on third down and gets the pick to end it.
And now Drew Brown gets the ball with exactly a minute left. He's almost, he's at 168 yards. Let's see if Drew Brown is a little bit aggressive here to start this. Adebaboye in at running back.
Well, I just, it doesn't matter what team to me. That's the intended target, I believe, was Dominic Rhymes. And you'll see the high throw with DeAndre Lamont behind him, and whenever you overthrow a receiver over the middle like that, there's going to be coverage in behind, and that's going to go the opposite direction. But like we talked about, mistakes happen to everybody. It's the next play that matters. Lamont's a good example of that.
Empty backfield here for Brown on a 2nd and 7. Flag flies as he throws it, and it's taken away. There's a penalty flag on the play. Devine Scott with the INT. But what's this going to be?
Oh, baby. See what this is.
This is against Calgary.
Oh, boy. Dodged a bullet there. Because that was...
Offside. Calgary number 7. It's 5-yard penalty. First down.
Rimalade's trying to get the explanation on that. Let's take a look and see. There he is there.
Correction, second down. Second down.
Leaned into it, I guess.
No, I know you're good.
Now let's take a look. Well, definitely early movement.
Drew Brown gets another crack at it. 2nd and 2. On the ground. Pushed ahead. Should be enough for a first down out of Adebaboye. Gives him a fresh set with 33 seconds on the clock.
Well, some good and bad. And, that's when you look at P.J. Walker. He's going to try and just go and play ball in the second half. Maybe get some more manageable situations to convert on second down. But beyond that, that's out of his hands anyway. That's play call.
Gino Lewis, double team, taken down at the Ottawa 45. Roberts and Johnson in on the tackle.
In the meantime, I'd say Drew Brown's about 25 yards from makeable field goal range. Could get maybe 2 or 3 plays if he's efficient here, and he needs a first now.
Lewis Ward, just one attempt from 50 yards this year. He did hit it. Looking for Hardy, defended well by Sheldon Arnold.
Yeah, right in his back pocket. He ran the route this time, Arnold, with Hardy. That's a PBU.
Pass breakup.
Yep, that's a PBU right there. I'm going to keep working on it until we get the change. Knock down at the line of scrimmage. PBU when you break up a pass.
2 different things. This will hang up there. Horton takes it at the 15. 9 on the return, no more, with 8 seconds left in the half. That'll likely do it. We've got halftime coming up. Don't want to go anywhere. Kate, Enoch, Lappo, and Milt. And lots to discuss. PJ Walker, a couple of interceptions.
And there has been series where Pat Delmonico has called run plays on first down, but the Ottawa defense is stopping him. So it's putting PJ Walker in second and long, sometimes second and 10 or 12 anyway. So that's not, it's not just been play calling that's been an issue, but see what they come out. It's always a game of adjustments.
Calgary has trailed at the half in both of their losses so far this season. They are 5-0 when leading at half, 0-2 when trailing, and Ottawa 1-1 with the lead at halftime, which they do have right now. 17 unanswered points by the RedBlacks, and their defense making some plays.
Yeah, I mean, as a DB, former DB, I love playing against young quarterbacks because you're not sure what they're seeing. Sometimes they'll beat you and surprise you, and sometimes it looks like they're standing in the middle of the freeway. Cars flying by, and they're not sure how many DBs are back there. Amari Henderson gets his first of the season.
And he's now standing by, as you can see, with Claire Hannah.
Amari, your interception led to your team getting a touchdown, and it was just a couple of weeks ago. You said you were working on the jug machine, getting those catching angles. How would you describe your first career interception here?
It's a blessing. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of film study. I finally got that cast off, so I was able to catch the ball. So that's all that matters right now, just getting that ball.
On the other side of the field, there's a quarterback making his first CFL start. How are you guys trying to intimidate him?
We're just trying to make it hard for him. We know he played football before, but it's a different league here. So you know, as a secondary, we got to switch up the looks and make it hard for him. When the ball in the air is our ball. So that's what we're doing right now.
Thanks, Amari.
Appreciate you.
All right, Kate, over to you.
Thank you, Claire. Back alongside Enoch Wamba Powell, Lapolice, and Milt Stiegel. And you know what? For the Ottawa RedBlacks, they needed a half of football like that one, didn't they? You can see the offense is feeding off the defense feeding off the offense. And we were just talking about this, Enoch. We have seen Drew Brown in 3 games. I mean, he has had sat for 3 games. And, while their defense has played well, they haven't been able to grab that offense. They've already got 17 points in the first half, and you can see the connection right away with Drew Brown and Geno Lewis, who already has 84 yards. It's just nice to see, finally, just a little bit of consistency on that side of the ball.
Oh, absolutely. Geno Lewis is extremely happy to see Drew Brown at quarterback, and this whole offense really is. They are dynamic with Drew Brown at the helm, and he always gives them a chance. You look at the games that he's played, he puts up great numbers, but you look at him tonight, he's done a great job of finding his star. Geno Lewis over the middle, and he's showing his hands. Like I said, he is extremely happy to see him, and Drew Brown is showing his accuracy and his ability to spread the ball around and his ability to also move around the pocket, and he showed some legs and speed to get the first down there. But you look at this defense, the Calgary Stampeders, you expected them to be extremely well. They're here in the 4-by-1 formation with the running back to the 1 receiver side. You see right there, Damon Webb is pointing. He said, hey, we might have to banjo because the running back is on the same side, and they have a miscommunication. Two guys on the running back, and there's no one inside. And now you get the touchdowns. This happened twice already tonight that resulted in touchdowns. This Calgary defense is not playing the way that you expected them to play, and he puts that offense in a tough situation.
Let's keep talking about defense. The RedBlacks defense, I think that was the most important thing for this football team. How are we going to stop Dedrick Mills? How are we going to stop the run game of the Calgary Stampeders? Dedrick Mills got 5 carries for 10 yards. You look at this early on, Santos Knox in there. You see the free safety, Bennett Williams down low going to make the play. There's party started. There's Pickett in one of these tackles. So they are stopping the run and forcing PJ in positions where he has to throw the football. And obviously we get some interceptions. DeAndre Lamont, we see this one. Amari Henderson's got one. So it starts with up front. What the guys up front, Wakefield, Bryce Carter, Malden, those linebackers are making the Stampeders one-dimensional.
On the flip side of the ball, we talked about this in the pregame. PJ Walker, obviously having that week of practice was going to be huge for him. And early on, we were thinking, okay, you know what? He was finding just a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of chemistry with some of those receivers. And then Milt, it all went downhill.
Yeah, Philip Walker Jr., as you mentioned early on, he looked comfortable, he looked confident. And even when he throws interceptions, he looked confident. So that was a positive. But overall, I'm going to give him a D- for that first half. Before that second interception, I was going to give him a C+. We see early on he started finding Dominique Rhymes, who's not a bad receiver to find. He was looking comfortable. He was looking confident. The offensive line was blocking for him. He was doing well. And it seemed like he tried to do too much later on. He was trying to throw the ball down the field, not realizing the dimensions of this field. This is not the CFL. This is not the XFL. This is not the NFL. It's a different game. So let's hope when he comes out in the second half, he still has that confidence. He still has that ability to make some plays, because this team can't get down. This team can't get in this second half and be down 20, 30 points, because he's not good enough, in my opinion, to have this team come back. Something else they need to do? They got to run the ball, as you mentioned. Dedrick Mills, 10 yards? Yeah. They're not going to win the game if they don't have a running attack this second half.
Professor Stiegel's pretty hard on them.
Milton Eugene Stiegel. Yes. I do not want a grade from you. Please don't rank our broadcast performance this evening. Coming up after the break, we chat about the Bombers and Zach Collaros.
An absolutely beautiful Thursday night in Ottawa, where the RedBlacks set to host the Calgary Stampeders. Flushed out of the pocket, on the run, finds a man, it's Rhymes, over the middle, end zone, got it, down the field, intercepted, to the end zone, wide open, got it, drops it in there for Hardy again.
Week 9 continues with a little Friday Night Football. It is a rematch between the Argonauts taking on the Blue Bombers, and then it's a double dip on Saturday. First up, we got the streaking Tiger Cats taking on the Elks, and then it all wraps up with the Rough Riders taking on the Alouettes. I heard ticket sales for the Bombers and the Alouettes are absolutely fantastic, by the way. And for Bombers fans right now, they need to see something out of Chris Streveler, because there will be no Zach Collaros in this lineup. Coach, how are you game planning for Streveler?
The hardest part with being a coordinator, having Zach Collaros, Streveler, totally different offenses at times. So the thing I always tried to do in training camp, we're going to run some of the same type of runs the quarterback runs, just substitute the quarterback so you don't tax your offense. So Streveler's got to make sure, Jason Hogan's got to have a couple of plays, a draw for him. He's got to have a couple plays on second and long for him to use his legs. But what I think has to happen for them to win is you cannot do this all the time. You can't have the quarterback moving the launch point all the time. You have to drop back in second and long and throw the football downfield. So he's going to have to do that tonight, Mel.
You don't want to do that too often with Streveler, though. You got to be smart. We know he has some special gifts, and I don't know if that's one of them. But regardless, they got to find some way to score some points. Over the last 3 games, I think they're averaging 17.5 points. That's not going to get it, because their defense hasn't been up to par. And Coach Mike O'Shea, he even talked about it. It's not only the offense, it's a little bit of everyone. So they all got to contribute. You can't depend on just Streveler. They all have to contribute in their different ways.
Yeah, they got to play for there's his strength and his abilities, and his abilities is not always dropping back and throwing down the field. And so for him to be successful this week, he also has to be able to protect the ball. If he can't protect the ball and allows that defense for Toronto to get their hands on footballs, last week they had 2 of them. Listen, they're going to have a long night, and so protect the ball is going to be prime.
I think this is going to be a great Friday night matchup. And the Argos, too. The momentum that they have from that victory. But this is completely different rolling into Princess Auto Stadium. Should be a fabulous one on Friday Night Football. But first, we have to wrap up some. Oh, we're back with the baby. Did you guys put that in there just on purpose? There is the baby again.
We just had the drunk song. So
hey, baby. Right? It's a neutral. It has alcohol in it. Don't do it.
Big first half for Justin Hardy and anybody who has him in there. Welcome back to Ottawa, where Calgary trails 17-3, looking to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time this season. Dominique Ryan stands by with Claire Hannah.
Dominic, PJ threw you a couple of nice balls on a drive there. How do you recreate more of those?
Just got to execute. We've been getting to our spot. We just got to, we're going to hit on them. Just keep going. You know what I mean? Just keep playing football. Keep playing Calgary football. We're going to get there.
You've played almost half of your career here previously in Ottawa. What's it like coming back playing at TD Place?
Feels good. I know a lot of the fans, they say hey to my family, and a lot of my family's here. So, it feels good to be back. It's going to be even better, get this W.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you.
Well, they were moving the ball. Just a couple of unfortunate turnovers kind of killed the momentum that they were able to build offensively.
Yeah, I agree with the panel talking about establishing, a good running game in Dedrick Mills. and trying to get P.J. Walker so he's not in a position that he feels like he has to press and go deep down those seams.
Ottawa with the lead and will get the ball to start the half. Their only win this year against Calgary, and they're well on their way if they can continue to move the ball offensively. Possibly picking up another one. Pimpleton on the return. Hangs on to the ball. Busts through. Finally ran out of room, but a pretty good effort on that return from Pimpleton to start the half.
I'll take a look at his first half for Drew Brown. He was 13 of 19 for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, both to Justin Hardy. Didn't take him long to get back and hone in on that accuracy. Did get Geno Lewis involved early in that first quarter as
well. Brown getting a read of this Calgary defense. With Stanback to his right. Now Stanback joins 3 receivers out to the right. Brown's going to throw in his direction. It's taken away. Intercepted by Jaden Grant. What a start for Calgary's defense. Still going. Spins around. Takes it down to the 40. A flag came out during the return at midfield. And Grant with the takeaway for the Stampeders.
The intended target was William Stanback going right down the seam. Grant was a high player. Jaden Grant playing back there in the deep. See, here comes out of the backfield.
After the interception, holding. Calgary, number 48. 10-yard penalty, first down, Calgary.
That's Stanback. And it looked like Drew Brown kind of faded away from this throw, almost throwing off his back heel and didn't get enough on it. Didn't hit him in the hole because there was a deep player. I'm sure he saw him, but you see that rush right in front of his face. He floated back, floated away from it. The ball got away on him, overthrown, and big interception by Grant, his second on the season.
Holding on the return, backs it up all the way to the Calgary 38 for P.J. Walker. Hands it off. Antwi takes a loss and is driven back.
Yeah, young quarterback. Ottawa said, let's stop the run. Most importantly, let's stop the run. Coming in, you know, the Ottawa RedBlacks coming into this game against the run were right in sort of the middle of the pack, or lower middle. But they have been excellent. Dedrick Mills, 10 yards in the first half rushing.
Just 5 attempts. Had to mix in Chiquette and Antwi tonight. The way the depth chart is being constructed. Walker's in trouble, somehow escapes, and now he's going to take off, pushing it ahead for a first down for the Calgary Stampeders.
Javon Santos-Knox is going to be the guy who ends up tackling him. But again, Walker climbing the pocket to look. He takes a peek, possibly wanting to throw. And now all he has to do is maybe hook slide instead of take this hit on. But he did move the chains.
12 yards is the longest running play of the game for the Stampeders. Now he'll throw. They'll try to set up a screen on the far side. Baldwin had it. That's his 3rd catch of the game. Positive yards, but just 3 on the play.
So that's an extended run. So if the run between the tackles isn't working, and right now the Ottawa defense has stopped that run in between the tackles, even though it's Dedrick Mills and his almost 78 yards per game. So you throw the quick swing, the quick screen pass outside.
Crowd trying to get behind this Ottawa defense. Themselves 4. Adams bobbles, recovers, tries to get away, but will not. Held on to at the end.
Did he get one?
He got one. Malden's first sack of the season. A bit of an adventure, but he's finally got one.
Hey, it doesn't matter how it happened. It just mattered that it happened for Lorenzo Malden, who Remember, not long ago, back in 22, was the Defensive Player of the Year and had 17 sacks. There's a face mask.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Ottawa number 91. It's 15-yard penalty.
That's going to take
the first down.
That takes it off the board.
That is a killer.
I was about to say, he must be frustrated. I mean, we're sitting here at game 8, and Lorenzo Malden does not have a sack. Now,
Ton of quarterback pressures.
yes, now, and sacks can be, sometimes a little misleading. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 sacks and you haven't played your best game. Sometimes you play your best game up front and you don't get one. But he must be just going nuts over there going, what do I got to do?
They'll hand it off to Antwi. And another loss on the ground. This time 2 yards, and it'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, I think if you're going to get first down production in your Calgary, you're going to have to look at those outside screens, double screens, slot back or wide receiver screens, get the ball away from that front 4, front 5, the Ottawa RedBlacks, because they're shutting down the run up front.
Walker gets it away, finds line. First down, Calgary takes it inside the 30. Boy, the RedBlacks were bringing heat. Walker had to move that quickly.
Yeah, and he did. He saw, this is good recognition from P.J. Walker earlier in his journey in the CFL, because he realizes, man, he sees Cormier take the back out of the backfield, kind of like the Ottawa touchdown in the first half. He knows the trailer is going to be Dominic Rhymes, so he hits him.
Empty backfield this time. 3 to the left, 3 to the right for Walker. Gets it away. It's Kevin Jones. And he'll be stopped just shy of the red zone. It's 2nd and manageable here for Calgary's offense. Tevin Jones.
Yeah, it looks like he's an issue with his ankle or his leg or maybe his shoe.
I think it was a shoe issue. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He's fine. The shoe, not so much.
He blew a tire.
He's running down the sideline.
Well, they're not exactly deep.
Oh, he's going right to the room.
The Calgary Stampeders are not exactly deep in receivers. They need to get Tevin Jones back out there as quickly as possible.
We are on Tevin Jones' shoe watch.
He's taking a pit stop.
Mills back in the game at running back. Lines up right behind his QB. He'll give it to him. Mills trying to stretch it out. Big hit. He bounced off of it. Then he's gang tackled and driven back. Nice. Well, that was a wallop, wasn't it?
That's just a great football play by both guys. I mean, Mills is going full speed. I think it's a Darius Pickett coming downhill. Nope, he gets blocked. Was that Lucas Cormier?
I think it's Bennett Williams.
Oh, it's Bennett. So safety.
The safety.
It is a safety.
Down, yeah.
Coming all the way downhill, and that's a great football play. Talked about player safety and how the game is evolving, but it's still one of the most physical games on the planet.
Paredes, who hit his 600th field goal earlier tonight, misses this one. That's his 2nd miss of the night. He did hit one, which was his 600th, just the 7th kicker all time, and he's not happy. Another miss for a fired-up Paredes.
I would say that's a real good drive by P.J. Walker. Got down at field goal range. If Paredes has made both. One was a longer one. I'll give him that one, but he makes both. It's a one-possession game. He's normally money.
He's 13 of 18 so far this year as they'll toss it ahead to Pimpleton. And he is taken down after a pickup of about 5 yards.
Now, one of the things Calgary has done well this year is take the ball away. And you take a look at I know they're not winning the giveaway takeaway tonight, but they're a +5 coming in. A couple of pick sixes. Damon Webb's been involved in those. Derek Moncrief, as we mentioned. So you get the feeling that they're going to need to take away. They need a couple extra series.
2nd and 6 after they give Pimpleton 4. Brown, near side. That one was bobbled, but caught for a loss. Pretty much back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's mark it at the 9, and it'll be 3rd and 9. Leone will have to come and kick it away.
Yeah, I think when Drew Brown took that snap and saw that there were only 3 rushers, 9 dropping, he just said, no, I'm not going to force it down the field.
Turn it over. Gordon takes it at the 15. Good burst. Hangs on to the ball. And it stops just short of the 40.
Well, one thing that makes it tough on a young quarterback like P.J. Walker is when the defense he's playing against is stopping the run, putting him in second long, and forcing him to try and press and get the ball downfield. And then now it becomes a counting situation with the defensive backs and getting used to the extra guy after playing in the NFL and down south as long as he has. That defense has made it tough on him.
Running backs for Calgary, 12 carries, 15 yards. P.J. Walker, 1 carry, 12 yards. But 15 yards on 12 attempts from their running backs so far tonight.
Yeah, so that run defense for Ottawa getting the job done, and saying to P.J. Walker, remember we talked about the RPO plays. Those RPO plays are really good on first down. And then there's been a couple of these too, where, you know, P.J. Walker has put it where he needs to put it, and the receiver hasn't come through for him.
Well, it's a couple for Baldwin tonight. First CFL game. Couple of drops, tough start. Walker looking to throw again here, bouncing around the pocket, dumps it off, and that one back in the direction of Baldwin. And this time he misses him. And that'll be a quick possession for Calgary as Walker hits his head, and they'll be forced to kick it away again.
Yeah, an example of taking your turn. Everybody's taking their turns with little miscues. Baldwin the drop, first down, and then some happy feet there from Walker on second. Just missed that little swing through.
Muslin from just inside his 30. His kick twirls down near sideline. And Pimpleton lets it go, and the flag will fly for the illegal kick. Drew Brown will have the ball with a lead at home on Thursday Night Football. Well, a week from tonight on Thursday Night Football, BC visits Hamilton, and it'll be Hamilton's highest honor. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, what a season he had. An NBA champion, the MVP, one of the most successful seasons in NBA history, and he will be honored at that Ticats game.
Nice matchup in his hometown. I wonder if Robert Carter, when he had that interception, could have dunked it. Like, now, he was high enough to two-hand dunk it.
Awesome honor for SGA in his hometown.
Hermilati got home there. He's moving around at the line of scrimmage a little bit and making it difficult before the snap. So remember when he got that offside, barely moving up there? He moved from inside. We just shot at the end of the movement, but he moves from inside, gets outside leverage, and he gets his third of the campaign.
A loss of 8 yards, 2nd and 18 for Brown. 3 to his right, 3 more out to his left. He's under pressure and he's taken down. Miles Brown finishes off what Jalen Hutchings started, and Calgary's much talked about defensive line steps up tonight.
Well, Hutchings is in the middle. Miles Brown out here and a Rimolade. I mean, 3-man pressure against 5, but they're coming so hard and wide that they make it, they don't allow for the double team. They don't allow the guards to get involved.
Leone kicks us away from inside his own 15. Horton took it cleanly. Back to the 50.
That's a big defensive series for Calgary. Get back in this one.
Maybe the best one of the game so far for this Stampeders D. Oh, it's been a pretty productive season for RedBlacks defensive end Bryce Carter. Team high 3 sacks coming into this one. For more, let's send it down to Claire Hanna.
Yeah, and Dustin, consistent is probably the best way to describe Bryce Carter. In fact, Bob Dice told us a story that really puts that into perspective. See, Bob Dice has been parking at TD Place for a long time, and he knows all the makes of all the coaches' cars. But a couple of years ago, he started noticing one car that was here before the rest. Well, it was Carter's. And the lineman said he always likes to get here early to put in extra work, especially in the film room. He's old school in that he likes to watch game tape on projectors, you guys, not the iPhone, not an iPad.
I love it.
Yeah, Carter might be, one of the quietest players on the team, but don't mistake that for apathy. Carter is loud with his play. As you mentioned, leads the RedBlacks with 3 sacks this season.
Watching games, I don't believe you. I refuse to believe it. It's 2025.
I love it. Old school. Old daytimer. The big screen on TV. Go and just get it up on the big screen. You get a chance to settle in and look at it. But yeah, I mean, you got to do that. You want to be a great pro. You want to be a great ball player in football. You got to put the work in. There are no shortcuts. And over when we do these stories and we talk to these guys, you'll find the great ones on the field are putting the time in.
Second and 6 for Walker. Gets it away, finds Brooks, who spins, gets a first down and a little bit more to boot at the end of the play.
A little bit of fancy footwork out there for Eric Brooks, because when he caught this ball, he was a couple yards short. But he makes a nice outside turn there. A little stiff arm. Bryce Carter, nice little power rush, just straight pull.
Walker dumps it out to Baldwin. There's a flag. I think it might be on Rhymes, and he immediately jumped up to argue the call.
There's no infraction for holding on the play. Second down.
And Rhymes wins the debate.
I don't think it was that. Yeah, you wish it was that, because then every penalty, the player would be over there immediately trying to make his argument. But I think they just picked up the flag, realizing that it was a clean block by Dominic Rhymes.
From the Ottawa 43 has that one batted down and incomplete.
The ruling is an incomplete pass. It's third down.
I think he wanted to get the crossing route to Dominic Rhymes, where he may have had Diedrich Mills there. Let's see what our Bryce Carter did up at the top. Got the hands away, a bit of a takedown.
The clock is correct. The clock is correct. Third down.
So they're going to punt it from the Ottawa 43. instead of attempting a 50-yard field goal from Paredes,
A little bit of wind, but not.
who is 1 for 3 tonight. A little bit of wind, but the wind is not gusting here.
No.
To take the ball off the foot of Paredes, but maybe the 1 for 3 on the night
Yeah.
is enough to take the opportunity away.
Interesting, because you're talking about a veteran guy, and everybody has their moments where they miss one or two, but often the coach will turn to the kicker and ask him, how do you feel about this distance? And possibly that's what happened with Dave Dickinson here. Turned to him and he said, I don't know, that's a little long with the breeze is in his face, it looks like, from the flags behind the stadium. Yeah.
Stanback takes it, pushes ahead, broke a couple of tackles.
Very makeable distance.
Yeah, he got 8 yards there.
And when you think about it, though, a long field goal, you have to protect so it doesn't get blocked. That means you have bigger guys up front, which don't cover as well as linebackers. You have a long field goal team, which is different than a normal field goal team, that has a couple more linebackers for the covering if you miss it. But surprising, because that's a makeable distance for Paredes.
13 of 18 on the season, though, for Paredes, who's been one of the most accurate kickers in the history of the league. Yeah, that's a look at the wind, but that flag would actually, that's not going in his face. That's the big Canadian flag that's flying
sort of
sideways at his back. The other ones are moving a little bit, but it's swirling around up there. Try to play the position game a little bit. Down by 13 for Calgary. We'll see if Drew Brown has other ideas. 7 on the offensive line. They hand it off. Calgary's defense busts through there, trying to stop him on 2nd and 2. See where this ball is spotted.
Jacob Roberts got into something going on down there. Might have been Peter Godber. Jacob Roberts has reminded me a little bit of Derek Moncrief and how active he has been as there's Godber. He's on the takedown and then the wrestling, and good decision by the officials to just go over there and say, okay, that's enough, guys.
Moncrief come running in there. Dustin Crum in the game on 3rd and inches. Calgary's defense can somehow find a way here. That would be huge. Crum did not need much. Sort of just piles on top of everybody. And that will be enough for Ottawa's offense.
Well, I think when we zoomed Coach Dice and asked him about the guys that are returning, is there one guy that you're more excited about than others getting back in the lineup? And his answer was immediate: Peter Godber. we get our all-star offensive lineman, our center, back in there. And, full marks to Jacob Ruby. Jacob Ruby moved in when Godber was out, and Ruby had never played center at any level. And that's difficult.
I'll hand it off. Stand back again. It's his 8th carry of the ball game.
Because it's not just the physical aspect of playing offensive line, but for the center, he's the quarterback of the offensive line. He's the guy that's calling all the fronts. He's calling all the different protections. He's making sure he gets the ball back to the quarterback. All of those things. And Jacob Ruby, who's standing in there right beside him, getting that playing time, he stepped in without playing at any level the center position and did a pretty good job.
Final play of the 3rd quarter. Brown bouncing around, tracked down from behind, and he is Vibrations flag in the secondary, and Moncrief looks to the sky.
Legal contact on the receiver. Calgary number 44. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down, Ottawa.
Can't end the quarter on a penalty. Got to get the dance team, unless they're going to. No, they are going to end the quarter on a penalty. Can't end the half or a game on a penalty.
Ottawa on top after 3. Ottawa leads 17-4. If you break it down, the stats relatively close. They both gained 198 yards in this game, but bottom line is Ottawa's got to find a way to seal this away.
Well, they really do. The pressure's on them. Just one win. That against Calgary and that rainstorm out in Calgary early in the season. And yeah, I mean, the pressure's on this team. They got a lot of their guys back, like Peter Godber, like we mentioned. Braylon Addison back in the lineup in the receiving corps. So, you know, this was... The expectations are, with the injuries to Calgary, that they could get their second win of the season, take a little pressure off. Again, Bob Dice telling us that, you know, he feels like they're doing the right things, or they're preparing the right way, but that he wanted to challenge his guys to think outside the box, to make themselves uncomfortable in practice, because they try to do things that they, maybe weren't trying earlier in the season.
Brown with the lead and the ball to start the 4th. And with the pass, a short one, take up almost a couple of yards. Here's why we have a 14-point lead for Ottawa.
Well, defense has stepped up in that third quarter, but in the first half, Ottawa was moving the ball pretty well. You see the confusion on that play from the Calgary defense. Caught him in a bust and found Justin Hardy for his second TD.
Stand back with a short pickup. Now they'll go empty backfield here. Brown by his lonesome behind his line. Throws to his right. Close to a first down to Braylon Addison. Good to have him back. Just his second catch of the game, but that'll move the chains.
Well, just 2 catches, and usually when a player's coming back from injury, it's the second game when he really feels comfortable again, not the first. But he's also just a threat to be out there, so he's going to pull the attention of a DB or a linebacker. See Braylon Addison there, you're thinking, this guy's potential big play guy, so I got to make sure I cover him down. I can open up his teammates.
Stand back. Bounced off of Moncrief, but they'll finish him off. Kyle Wilson is there to take him down.
Both teams have been very good against the run on defense. Stanback just has 31 yards on 9 carries. Just 11 yards for Dedrick Mills. Both these defenses prepared well to stop the run.
You know, a big play by the Calgary defense could really change the momentum of this ball game, right?
Yep.
Had a couple of sacks, but it's been Ottawa's defense with a couple of takeaways. Really made a big difference here. Brown, pressure in his face, just throws it away. And it'll be incomplete.
Well, Calgary thinks it's intentional grounding, but I think there was a receiver close by. I think Justin Hardy was there. It looked like it may have been tried to be set up as a screen, and Brown saw the pressure coming, so he underhand shoveled it. But I think just behind to the right of your screen, Justin Hardy was there. It was behind the line of scrimmage, so a receiver or running back.
They're offsetting 10-yard misconduct penalties. Calgary 12, Ottawa 64. It's third down.
That was after the play.
We'll see what Coach Dice wants to challenge.
What is he challenging here? Is he saying pass interference on Hardy?
Well, if they were setting up that slot back screen in the middle to Justin Hardy, if he got tackled in there.
Ottawa is challenging the previous play for pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
So they're going to challenge pass interference as they were setting up the possible screen. We'll try to get you a look when we return.
This is Justin Hardy, and he's going to try and get in here. Slightly grabbed by Clarence Hicks, but it also looked like he was going to block him.
Interesting call.
After review by the replay center, the call in the field stands. By losing a challenge, Ottawa has lost a timeout. It's third down.
Tim Croker with the ruling. Not surprising, I think.
No, not really. I mean, there's two aspects to that. One is that Clarence Hicks thinks he's getting blocked when Hardy comes after him like that. So he's absorbing that. The other is the ball wasn't catchable.
Horton on the return, really nowhere to go. They'll mark this down at the 25. So Calgary's offense, when they have got the ball moving, they've missed some field goals tonight. But they're one good drive away from being right in this game with still over 12 minutes left.
Against a one-win team that has some pressure on them right now to get that second win of the season.
PJ Walker, 13 of 24, 167 yards, 2 interceptions, 12 yards on one scramble that he had. Wants to throw here. Down the field, looking for Rhymes. Rhymes, no flag. Working against Pickett. Rhymes quickly looked to the back official, but nothing there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. He looked at the official, and in fact, this is a great ISO look at it because it's well covered. Pickett picks him up, nice speed turn there, and they're both looking at the ball, and I think Rhymes was really trying to sell that something was going on, but Pickett was playing the ball too. That's
great positioning by Pickett.
Absolutely.
So 2nd and 10 for Walker. Gets that one away, finds Tevin Jones down the field for a first down. He'll go down just outside the 45, 21 yards.
Good protection up front. That was extra pressure coming from the Ottawa RedBlacks. They sent some extra pressure. 2 inside linebackers dropped. There's 6 coming at PJ Walker. He stood in there strong.
They tried to get something going on the ground, but it does not work. A yard, and that's all.
So Milt, what did Milt give Walker in the first half? I think he gave him like a D- or something. Like, I mean, the fact that Ottawa stopped the run, that's a tough grade. I am not taking Milt Stiegel's math course.
I'm not familiar with D- because I never got them. Straight A student in the booth here. Here's Walker. That'll be enough for a first down. It looked like, they might mark him a little bit short. I thought he had it. Sean Genesis with his first catch, 24-year-old out of Guelph.
5th-round draft pick this year, and getting an early chance to play with Jalen Philpott down. Clark Barnes also out, and Damian Alford.
They're going to say this is close enough. The call for a measurement, I believe.
The replay center's corrected the spot to the 53-yard line. It's first down.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was a little bit further up. And the replay center's going to step in and say, don't bother measuring this. It is a first down.
But, you know, to look at Walker's game so far, his first start in Canadian football, and there certainly has been some things that would lower the grade. A couple interceptions. Just didn't see a couple overthrows, but well, he's also done some very good things, and he's got a chance to make it a one-possession game here.
Antwi now out to the right for Walker. Walker throws it far side, and that is taken away. It's McGee untouched. See you later, baby. End zone, RedBlacks touchdown.
Okay, Milt was right. D-. That's a... He's got a long way to go, and he's got a great skill set for this game, but P.J. Walker telegraphed that one. And Elijah McGee said, see ya.
His first interception goes the other way for a major, and the RedBlacks defense has this team in the driver's seat against Calgary again.
It's just, listen, he's shown a live arm at times. He's shown some running ability at times. But he's got a ways to go.
And Ottawa in the fourth quarter, up 20 on the 5-2 Calgary Stampeders. McGee takes it back 61 yards for the touchdown.
He's at the beginning of his journey. He's trying to get it out here, P.J. Walker. And he's just got to understand the angles, the size of the field. Look at both defenders here are at about the same level. If he throws it inside, he has a chance. And if he throws it to the outside shoulder, outside, he might have a chance here too. But it's an inside throw to the wide receiver on the hitch. And Elijah McGee and all the DBs in that look had their eyes right on P.J. Walker sitting in that zone.
To climb for the Stampeders now. Nice return shaping up, but there's a flag on the play. Horton's going to take it down to the 30. He'll go to the 20. Will he be cut? No. Touchdown Calgary, or is it? Flag sits inside the 40. If it stands, they have life. If it doesn't, they're pretty much done. During the return, holding. Calgary number 94. 10-yard penalty. First down, Calgary. And it's coming back.
Yeah, there's no question on that penalty. Right at the ball carrier.
Federico.
Second penalty, too. He ran into the ref. I think that was an accident early on.
Craig Dickinson with a few words. Fourth-year CFLer out of Queens. Big-time mistake.
You know, and again, covering so many of these games and just over the years, seeing these returners and how talented and quick and fast they are. And we have so many of them all the time. If you're on the kick return team, you don't have to do those things. Don't grab them. Don't hit them in the back. This guy is going to get paid to make you miss in the open field. That's some kind of run by Horton, taken right off the board.
Walker gets this one away, has the first down as he goes back in the direction of Brooks, who came back to that ball and hauls in his 6th catch of the game.
you know, the other thing, and let's be fair to P.J. Walker, that all the receivers he's missing from the starting lineup. Eric Brooks isn't one of them, but we've gone through the list, and it's an all-star list. I mean, he's working with a couple of veterans out here, and Dominic Rhymes, Eric Brooks. Brooks is only in his second year. Missing Damian Alford, their big play guy, the throw it up and win the jump ball guy. He had 200 yards in 2 games. And Clark Barnes got that ankle injury. Jalen Philpott.
They haven't had Beggleton all year.
Yeah.
Very depleted receiving corps for Calgary.
And, you know, noted on a couple of second down throws, and I may be sounding like I'm trying to give him a bit of an alibi, because I like a lot of what he's done. But he's had a couple of drops, too. Like, think of 2 from Baldwin on second down.
Calgary will work from their own 39, trying to find something to spark this offense. They'll go to Chiquette. Get 6 yards on the play.
But having said that, the former DB in me says I used to love when I played against guys in their first start, and I don't care what the resume said.
Inexperience in the league.
Yeah, because it's about figuring out the angles, the size of the field, the waggle, all of those things in live action, and then the extra player in the back end. That's the thing. I mean, that got Vince Ferragamo. Remember? Well, before your time. A little bit before your time.
Walker. And there's a flag here. He was looking for Chiquette. Interfered with in the process. And it should be a first down, Calgary.
Might be upgraded to PI if it was. But
pass interference. Ottawa number 36.
Another guy,
first down at the 53-yard line.
Johnny Manziel down in the States, and we've seen many, you know, Heisman Trophy finalists that have come up that have had struggles, and Vince Ferragamo is probably the best example. That's going way back, and some people are Googling wildly, I'm sure, right now. Who was that? But he, 81, but he was in Montreal, but he was you know, in the Super Bowl 2 years earlier, starting quarterback. And then just, you know, he admitted after his time in Montreal with the Alouettes, I just couldn't figure out that extra guy in the defensive backfield. So we'll see if P.J. Walker can learn from this one, and still time to put a drive together here.
To have something offensively get put together here for Calgary. Zip on that ball, and it's held on to. Second catch of the game for Genesis.
And Dave Dickinson told us that, you know, he was still going through some protocol, but Vernon Adams is going to be ready next week.
Yeah, he's not far off.
No, and that, you know, he wanted to be extra careful, and I think it was a good idea.
Walker, Jones, good timing on that as he finds a spot in the defense and connects with Jones.
I mean, that's a nice touch pass in behind. His arm talent's excellent, and you know that touch pass in between the coverage, the linebackers underneath, the deep guys. Look at you got a deep outside defender there, back shoulder to Jones. That's a nice throw.
23 yards to Jones. Ottawa's going to bring some pressure. Walker gets it away. Finds Rhymes for a touchdown. P.J. Walker, 3 interceptions, but he's got his first CFL passing touchdown, 29 yards.
I'll tell you what, that's what he's capable of. So, you know, maybe his letter grade from Milt's going to be low for this one, but I don't know. I think there's a nice upside here. P.J. Walker and Vernon Adams, as we mentioned, will be back for Calgary in their next game.
Did VA look like a coach on the sideline?
Coaching
there? I don't know if that's in his future, but he kind of played the part over there tonight. Paredes knocks it through. Usually that's an afterthought, but with his evening, that probably feels pretty good for Paredes right now. Walker, Rhymes, Calgary finds the end zone. All right, Calgary. A little bit of life. They'll need their defense to step up here and make a play, though, with just under 6 minutes remaining. It'll be hammered away. Hamilton wanted it. He went and got it. And he'll take it back to about the 30.
So P.J. Walker now trying to figure out the extra guy that we talked about. There's the extra guy. That's Bennett Williams, the safety. But he's going to take a deep route on this side. And now the quick read by Walker to get to Dominic Rhymes in the backside seam. Stop it there. So there's the extra guy. He counts them, so he knows there's no safety in the middle. So he's already learning as the game goes on. The safety's out of there. We pulled him away with that corner route. And I can go right down the middle to my big slot back in Dominic Rhymes.
7 plays, 86 yards, 3 minutes. And a glimmer of hope out of Aboye. Carries taken down after picking up just a yard.
And one thing that P.J. Walker will learn quickly here is with
Calgary.
5:21 left, there is tons of time. I mean, this lead is not safe for the Ottawa RedBlacks. Big second down coming up right here to convert and try and kill some more of this clock. But you can get 2-3 possessions inside of 3 minutes, let alone 5.
We'll see if this Calgary defensive line that have been absolute beasts on the quarterback pressures all season can cause an issue for Drew Brown here. Hicks, Hutchins, Brown, and Arimolade. The front four on this defense for Calgary. It'll be an empty backfield for Drew Brown. Brown throws it at the feet of Addison. There's a flag way back in the secondary. And they'll have to sort that out. That came after the play.
That would be illegal contact down there. I don't know. That was a screen. They were setting up the screen there, and it was Miles Brown figured it out. Like he read the play and covered Addison on the screen. The penalty flag is
it's
40
on the
yards,
other side of the field.
Yeah, 40 yards away from it.
Legal contact on a receiver, Calgary number 90. It's a 10-yard penalty. Makes it a first down.
So that is Miles Brown, who you were talking about.
Well, he went over to track down the screen because he read it, and the screen was to Braylon Addison.
Look at that penalty differential tonight. 3 times as many penalties for Calgary. There's another look at it. Brown is kind of on the back of Addison.
I wonder if the replay center is taking a look at it.
Dave Dickinson was having a bit of an extended conversation on the near sideline. 1st and 10 Ottawa from their own 41. That'll take some precious moments off the clock for Calgary's hopes of a comeback. On the ground again. 2 more yards. So in the hands of the running back.
So let's take a look at this play again, because right down in the middle here, that's Miles Brown, and he's going to get to Addison, who is going to be the screen player. So Addison's up here. He's going to be the screen player. There is where they go and get engaged, and Miles Brown is going to try and grab him there a little bit. So that's pass interference, and pass interference is challengeable. That was the target.
2nd and 8 for Brown. Hicks tried to get by Eugene Lewis.
This is a big call.
This would put Lewis over 100 yards after just
Illegal
13 in
contact.
his last game.
Calgary number 31. A penalty declined as the gain is greater. It's first down.
It's Kyle Wilson who got called on the play. .26 yards to Lewis.
I didn't see a penalty there.
RedBlacks looking to put together a drive to seal this one away. 110 on just 5 catches. Adebaboye trying to bust through. And a flag laid on this one. Hicks has his helmet ripped off.
Illegal block, hands to the face. Ottawa number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's Dino Boyd. Now back up, make it a 1st and 20 from the Calgary 50.
Boyd's up here. We know he was trying to block Hicks because his helmet was off. We lose him there. I didn't.
Adebaboye in behind Brown. And they do run it on first down. Looking for something. Nothing was there. Moncrief the tackle, 2nd and long for Ottawa. Neither team able to get anything going tonight with the ground attack. Adebaboye just 7 yards on 4 attempts. Stand back 30 on 9. Mills has just touched the ball 7 times. He has 11 yards on the other side for Calgary. Stamps. They'll send 3. Hicks drops back. Brown looks far side. Has Addison. And he is taken down by Moncrief. Addison wanting a call. Crowd booing and wanting a call. No call comes. Inside 3 minutes. RedBlacks that close to his 2nd win. Welcome back to Thursday Night Football. Of course, we are just getting started. Friday Night Football in Winnipeg should be a good one as the Bombers get another crack at the Argos. Edmonton and their defense will go up against Bo Levi and the Ticats to kick off a doubleheader. That will wrap with Riders and Alouettes. Should be a great game on Saturday in Montreal.
Yeah, you and I are going to Schwartz Deli too, by the way.
I'm new out east, so I look forward to trying something. Lewis Ward, 43-yarder. That one is up, and that is why. Tough night for the kickers. This will be brought out by Horton, and he'll be stopped short of the 10. Ottawa saying they've got the ball.
Yeah, that
I don't know.
There must be a nasty side wind at field level because these are 2 solid kickers that have had a rough night.
So P.J. Walker, who's 20 of 33, 273 yards here in his debut, has that touchdown, but 3 interceptions, one of them that went the other way for 6. Gets the ball back with just over 2 to play. And just outside his end zone, finds Rhymes, but Rhymes does not hang on.
been 3 or 4 of these. Not from Rhymes, but it's the first one tonight from him. Just a nice little wraparound route.
That's got to be caught, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rhymes has been targeted 11 times, but only has 4 catches tonight. Walker will try to dial it up again. And that one is batted away. Looking for Brooks. Amari Henderson, who's had himself a night, makes the play on that one.
Walker's going to stay out there. These have been fastballs in a lot of ways.
So 3rd and 10. And they'll leave this Calgary offense out there on the field. Try to keep some sort of late game drive alive. Come down at the 1, turnover on downs.
Did Malden get there first?
Who knows?
Bit of a team meeting on 3rd down. There's Lorenzo Malden down looking for his first sack. Thought he had it tonight. Was taken off because of a penalty, and he might have got it.
I think that's going to be his, isn't it?
He's got his arms wrapped around the legs of Walker.
And they do officially give it to Malden. So he had his first earlier tonight, had it taken back due to a penalty by a teammate. Let's go! There he gets one. You can't deny me! You can't deny him.
Gotta get that first one. And they'll come in bunches.
Dustin Crum, 3 rushing touchdowns already on the season. And they pull him down before he crossed. No, touchdown, Ottawa. Close call, but they get it. 30-11, RedBlacks.
By the way, Crum got pulled down. I thought there might have been a face mask in there. But he just got turned around by his shoulder pads by Jacob Roberts. But let's just take a look down the line here. He did turn him from the head, but the ball was in the right hand. It looked like it did.
Right there.
Yeah, across the plane.
4th touchdown of the year for short yardage specialist Dustin Crum. Knocks it through. You even saw the wind push that one a little bit. Started dead center. Didn't finish that way. But the RedBlacks hanging 31 on a Calgary team that's allowed less than 20 per game all season. They got a 20-point lead.
After that short yardage play, just looking to see who is down there. This was to start the game. That was Dino Boyd. Looks like he'll be okay. But this to start the game was closer to was exactly what was envisioned coming out of training camp here in Ottawa for the offensive line. This was the group that Coach Dice thought, this is going to probably be our starting group. Zach Pelios went down early in this game, but we got Peter Godber back to start it. So Boyd, Bladick, Pelios, see what his situation is. We've seen a whole bunch of Jacob Ruby, who's now become Mr. Versatility on that O-line. Playing all the spots now.
They kept their quarterback relatively clean for most of the night.
Yeah, there was that one third quarter series where there were 2 or 3 sacks. Yeah.
just inside the 20. Had a return called back earlier in the game. Shows some good burst. Takes it out just shy of the 50.
But the Ottawa defense did a number on this vaunted running game for Calgary. I mean, they came in leading the league running the football at 127, almost 128 per game. 35 yards rushing tonight. Dedrick Mills couldn't get going. Antwi saw some touches. He couldn't get going. And as Coach Lapo said at halftime, it made him one-dimensional with a quarterback in his first start.
Walker to Jones. And that one straight up dropped as well. So lack of a running game tonight. Just 7 touches for Mills, who leads the league in yards per game. So he was barely involved tonight. Walker made some poor decisions that led to interceptions, but too many drops tonight as well.
Yeah, a different quarterback, and he's got a little heat on some of those throws, different than Vernon. But should have made those catches.
Trying to get away. And he threw that one right into the midsection of Malden. Who knows that he probably would have been going the other way for 6. Probably caught him off guard. That came in hot quickly.
It just hit him right in the chest, I think, because he was trying to sidearm it as he went down. Walker.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Number 4 was in the area. It's 3rd down.
You don't want to get too greedy. He already got his sack tonight, but this would have been nice.
Zahala got the pressure.
Would have been Malden's first interception of his career.
And may have been a pick 6.
I think it would have been. He could move. Pimpleton has to backpedal to this one. And boy, he's got nowhere to go there. He's thrown down out of bounds. Friday night football tomorrow. Arbuckle appears to be the Bombers' kryptonite. We'll get another crack at it here as Winnipeg looks to bounce back at home. Packed house at Princess Auto Stadium again.
What's your letter grade?
But tonight for PJ Walker?
Yeah.
I'm probably somewhere around a C.
See, I'd rather take your class.
Yeah, I'm an easy grader. Right? Yeah, like it's his first game in a different type of football.
With not only the backup receiving core on one side of the offense, but the third line receiving core on that side of the offense.
We have seen guys have much better first games, but we've seen guys have worse first games as well.
We've seen some have, coming up from big-time college programs, have worse first half of the seasons.
This is why I settle at a C.
Okay.
You know? There's been worse. There's definitely been better.
Yeah, and I'm about there with you. I really am.
They're going to get Vernon Adams Jr. back right away here.
Sure.
But I want to see more of PJ Walker.
Yeah, I think
at some point.
I think he's got some potential there. I really do. Like, talk about his arm strength. It's there. And in fact, probably there and caught some of his receivers off guard, which is why we saw 4 or 5 drops tonight.
Last year, we saw Calgary quarterback Logan Bonner get his first start, and he threw 5 interceptions. So Calgary's had worse in less than a year. So take that for what it's worth.
And then we've seen Jeff Garcia throw for 505 touchdowns in his first start, or whatever it was.
Now that would be an A+.
Yeah, that's an A.
Bonner, an F. Yeah. Garcia, A+. PJ Walker,
and PJ C. Okay. Yeah. There you go. That's fair. I like that. We've come to we found a scale.
I think that's about right. Now the problem for him is that he's filling in this game for a guy who's been A- A most of the season.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, lights out. Yep. Well, Possible early MOP candidate right there.
Let's wrap up this grading talk, or all the viewers are going to give us an F tonight. It's just pushed out towards the 30. What a big win for Ottawa, though.
Yeah, they needed it.
We get it. Calgary's very banged up. Doesn't matter. You got to play the team that's in front of you.
Yep.
And Ottawa did just that tonight. They've actually beaten Calgary now 5 times in a row. I don't know why. In fact, what's funny is that the 4 times they've beaten Calgary prior to this was done with 3 different quarterbacks. Crum had beat them twice. Mazzoli beat him once. Drew Brown beat him once. And now Drew Brown will hang another dub. And they'll go 2-0 against Calgary this season.
And other than a couple of O-linemen that have been nicked up again, we'll see how Pelios and Boyd are. But other than that, you know, getting a lot of their guys back. Lorenzo Malden's now on the board, and it's a good defensive line. We've seen how they stopped the #1 rushing team in the league tonight running the football. As Ottawa have next, they're taking on Toronto after this one in Toronto, and then at Winnipeg.
Calgary goes home for a Saturday matchup against Winnipeg.
Yeah, he's the R4.
Third time that those 2 teams have met already this season. Calgary winning both of the first 2 somewhat comfortably, I'd say.
Well, that second win in Winnipeg, that's when the talk began that Calgary's the top team in the league. And I don't think that's really changed. I mean, this will be loss number 3 for the Stamps.
An important victory for Bob Dice and the RedBlacks.
Absolutely.
You said earlier you don't like must-wins. This was close to a must-win.
It was close. They
got it.
It was, how'd you call it?
I really, really would like to win.
I really, really like to win. They got it done.
The RedBlacks get their 2nd win of the year, both of them against the Calgary Stampeders. For Calgary, I know you're going to want to evaluate this, but they're missing a lot of significant pieces right now. As a coaching staff, what do you say to your group tonight?
I say, hey, we battled. It was a 2-possession game, had a chance, and let's get back to work. For Ottawa, validates the process.
Now go get another.
Start to stack them.
We'll see if they can jumpstart their season with another win over a pretty good Calgary team from the West. Ottawa has been pretty good against the West over the last couple of years. They did it again tonight. Drew Brown stays healthy, throws 2 touchdowns, but it was the RedBlacks defense causing all types of problems for P.J. Walker, picking him off 3 times in a 31-11 victory over the Calgary Stampeders. Thank you very much for joining us on Thursday Night Football. Good night from Ottawa.
Football fans, how are you? And welcome to SportsCenter. She's Laura Dykin. I am Jennifer Hedger. And what a league this is, Laura. You can have 1 win through your first 7 games of the season, like the Ottawa RedBlacks did coming into tonight, and still be in the playoff mix because the Argos only have 2 wins on the season. They pick up a win tonight against a Calgary team that really looked out of sorts without their starting quarterback.
Yes, no Vernon Adams Jr., and it's something that the RedBlacks can relate to because they were without their quarterback, Drew Brown, for a big chunk of the start of this season. Ottawa 1-6, as Jennifer mentioned, heading into this one. Their only win of this season against Calgary in Week 3. We're going to start things off in the second quarter. Ottawa down 3. Drew Brown going to work to Justin Hardy. The RedBlacks have won 4 straight against the Stamps, looking for their first win at home this season, 0-3, as they go up 7-3. As I mentioned, no VA for Calgary in this one, so PJ Walker getting his first career CFL start. Walker here, tons of time, great protection in the second, throwing it deep, only problem, it's a RedBlack that comes down with it. Amari Henderson with his first interception of the season and his first overall since 2023. Walker's last career start period was back in the NFL, playing for the Cleveland Browns also in 2023. Later in the quarter, RedBlacks by 7. It's Brown throwing it up, and it's Eugene Lewis. Big gain. Takes a while to get him down. 34 yards. A couple plays after that, Brown finishing it off to Hardy, wide open. Hardy's first career multi-touchdown game in the CFL. RedBlacks up 17-3. Now over a minute left in the half. Walker looking to respond, but again, it's a RedBlack that comes down with it. DeAndre Lamont this time with his first interception of the season, number 4 of his career. Walker 130 yards with 2 picks in the first half, and it didn't get any better for the Stamps after that.
The one possession game here.
Antwi now out to the right for Walker. Walker throws
Look
to the
out!
far side, and that is taken away. It's McGee untouched. See you later, baby. End zone, RedBlacks touchdown.
Boy, did Ottawa need a game like this. Elijah McGee with his first pick of the season. How about a 61-yard pick 6? Walker 3 interceptions in his CFL debut as the RedBlacks see their losing skid come to an end. They're now 2-0 against the Stamps this year and 0-6 against everybody else. The RedBlacks win their 5th straight against Calgary. It also marks their first home win of the season, while the Stamps losing back-to-back games for the first time. This is their first loss on the road this season. And with plenty more, let's turn things over now to Kate and the panel.
Alongside Enoch Mwamba, Paul Apolice, Milt Stiegel, and this was a massive win for the Ottawa RedBlacks. And say what you want, their first win against the Calgary Stampeders came in those treacherous conditions, and then they beat a shorthanded Stamps team, but you play the team that's in front of you, and they did it quite well at both sides of the ball. On the flip side for the Calgary Stampeders, all of a sudden a team that was 5-1 is now 5-3, and PJ Walker, their QB in this one. I mean, at the beginning he seemed like it was going to be okay, and then by halftime, Milt, you gave him a D- for his performance. End of the game. What are you giving him?
Well, Professor Stiegel has never failed anyone, so I'm going to keep him at a D-. I'm going to keep him at a D-. And speaking of P.J. Walker, I mean, let's be honest. When you make the transition from American football to the Canadian Football League, the 2 hardest positions to transition is defensive back and number 1 is quarterback. I don't care how much success you had in other leagues or in college in the States, it's a difficult transition. It's a different game. The dimensions of the field, the fact that you have an extra man on the field, I don't care how well you practice. It's not easy to come in and make that transition and have success. Very few have done it. But we saw some flashes. He has a strong arm, and I think if he can get more playing time in this league, he could be a pretty good quarterback. But this team needs Vernon Adams back. They know that if they want to win some games and have a chance of making it to the Grey Cup. But this young man, not too young, he's 30 years old. I think if he can get some more playing time, he can play pretty good football in this league.
I'm going to give a grade out, Milk. Is that okay, Professor? Can I give the defense of the RedBlacks? Let's go A-. All right? A lot of good things. You know, I think sometimes the game plan's really simple, but the execution of the game plan can be really difficult at times. What did they do, though? They stopped the run and made this team one-dimensional. Calgary. They said, we are not going to allow the run game to get any type of rhythm, get the play actions. We're going to make sure that we can put the ball up in the air with P.J. Walker, and we're going to go steal it from a defensive back. 4 takeaways, +3 turnover margin, a pick 6. Really good things defensively. And you know, you got to win your games at home with a lot of backups who you're facing, and you're coming off a bye week. So it was mission accomplished for the RedBlacks. They kept their penalties down, which has been a difficult thing the last couple of weeks for them. So really good win at home.
I'll tell you what, Coach, not having a running game for P.J. Walker made it that much more difficult. You talk about not having VA. Big shoes to fill already coming in to the game. But this defense as well for the Calgary Stampeders, they didn't really show up. And you look at this team, who they've been, and the success that they've had. Yes, VA was a huge huge part of it, but this defense was tremendous, and tonight they just didn't show up. And the funny thing is, they actually played pretty well. They only allowed 225 yards to Drew Brown, 1 interception, but the standard that they have set in the precedent in the previous games is so much higher than the level of play that they displayed tonight. And so that, in combination with P.J. Walker's performance tonight, they can't get a win like that.
You know what, too? The good news for them, they don't play till next Saturday. That's a lot of time to get healthy. And Professor Stiegel, how would you rate the panel's performance in this hit?
No, I'm on the panel. It's an A+.
A+. All around.
There's only one grade to give, and that's A+. The RedBlacks' 4-game losing skid is over. Here's quarterback Drew Brown with Claire Hanna.
Drew, you told me yesterday that for the first 7 games of this season, you guys often made it difficult on yourselves. So how did you guys make things a little easier tonight?
Yeah, no, I mean, when your defense plays that well, you're going to win most of the time. So shout out to them for sure.
We just spoke with Justin Hardy for the first time in his CFL career, 2 touchdowns. Just how are you making plays to him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a good plan. You know, the first one was kind of schemed up, and I felt like it was a really good idea by, you know, the quarterback room and the OC. And the second one, they kind of just dropped him. They didn't cover him. So, you know, he has a way of, you know, throwing his hand up and me seeing it. So.
You also had a lot of guys back in your lineup tonight. What kind of a boost did they give you?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously, you know, veteran players that have been in the league a long time and have done really good things consistently. Anytime that you have guys in the lineup that are consistent players and know how to work and know how to prepare, you know, those are the guys that you want to play alongside.
Drew, you're always very even keel after wins, also after losses, but how can a win like this really propel your team?
Yeah, I mean, I think winning's very hard at this level, and I think we need to celebrate it, and we need to reflect on why those things happened. And it comes from the preparation that we do throughout the week and how important that is, and then competing as hard as we can on game day, trusting our preparation and just cutting it loose. You know, I think we got plenty of talent to compete with anybody. So.
Thank you, and congrats on the win, Drew.
Thank you, thank you.
Week 9 just getting started. Next up, the Bombers and the Argos. Second straight week they're facing off. Chris Streveler will start in place of Zach Collaros as the Bombers look to end their 3-game skid. And then a big doubleheader on Saturday. The Ticats looking for their 6th straight win, while the Riders and Alouettes will wrap things up. The top 2 odds-on favorites to win the Grey Cup. Okay. The RedBlacks back in the win column. Justin Hardy had his first career multi-touchdown game, and here he is now with Claire.
Justin, every game of the season is important, but given the way your season's been, how important was this victory here tonight?
Oh, very important. You know, coming off a bye week, you know, we just wanted to flush everything that happened at the beginning of the season and just come out here and get a win.
You got open twice in the end zone. The first time in your CFL career you've scored 2 touchdowns in a game. How did you just find and make those plays?
Man, it's routine plays. You know, just being in the spot that I needed to be in, and Drew found me.
Now, your defense also scored a pick 6, but they also created turnovers to make those plays. Just from your perspective on the sidelines, what were they doing right?
Playing complementary football. You know, they were playing together. You know, they was running around fast and just causing disruption.
How much confidence does this win give you now going into next week to face Toronto?
A lot of confidence. You know, we just had to get 1. You know, 1-0 this week, go 1-0 next week.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
P.J. Walker threw 3 picks in his first ever CFL start. Here is Calgary's quarterback, new on SC.
It was a hard-fought battle by the team. You know, you can't win games having 3 turnovers. Start with that. You know, I thought if we connected on a couple of plays, I thought the outcome could be a little different. But, you know, that's the game, and just got to play better next time we get an opportunity to go out there and play.
Dave was mentioning some of those mistakes were really just amplified by those turnovers. And those plays, like, can you just maybe explain your progressions? Just is it about adjusting to the CFL game?
Yeah. You know, the first one I underthrew, I think, just didn't put enough on it, just to throw it out there to him. The DB did a hell of a job, you know, jumping in front of it. Second one, I can't remember what happened. Third one was just a bad read by me. Should have just plugged the inside guy. I felt like the sand was a little dry on the inside, so I just went outside. And instead of throwing it outside, threw it inside. You know, can't make that mistake. You know, that's part of the game. You know, I got to learn and grow from it.
There were a few tipped passes or drops. Like, did you feel like you were close to I felt like I got into it, honestly. I got into my rhythm. I felt good. I felt like I just throwing the ball around the field. You know, sometimes we just don't make all the plays that we need to, but it's part of the game. And you know, we just got to find ways to battle through adversity. You know, it's going to happen. Everything will be perfect out there. And we just got to go out there and continue to play. You know, the game ain't one-on-one play. It's a long game. You just got to keep fighting and keep battling.